Hi, this is Blair Pleasant of Confusion and BC Strategies, and I'm here with Alan Masarek, CEO of Avaya. And Alan's been on the job for what, 3 to 4 months now. Uh, and in that time, he's been busy talking to employees and customers and partners all over the world. And he developed a roadmap, introduced the concept of innovation without disruption, and has been really busy. So, Alan, welcome and thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Blair. I appreciate it. It's nice to see you again.
You too. I know you've been really busy on the interview circuit, and I really appreciate your time. So let's start by explaining what you mean by innovation without disruption.
At its simplest, Avaya is unique in that we have some of the largest UC and contact center customers in the world. And virtually all of those customers sit on our premise architected solutions that they've bought over any number of years. Unlike a small company, those big customers, and I'm talking thousands and thousands of UC seats and quite frankly, thousands and thousands of concurrent agent seats as well. The last thing they want to do is to rip out that bulletproof, battle-hardened voice infrastructure underneath, because it's been so bespoke and intertwined into their environments. At the same time, they want to have innovation. They want to modernize that voice-only contact center and bring in chat and digital and social, just as an example. So the ability to innovate them without disrupting them is critically important and resonates incredibly well. Many competitors say, look, we're no longer going to support premise, and you have to move to multi-tenanted public cloud. We have both. So we can go down and sell premise to many geographies, many verticals, many governmental agencies require it still, or we can sell full multi-tenanted public cloud, UCaaS, CCaaS, but you have that enormous middle space of tens of thousands of customers that really need to move to the cloud at their pace, and the rip and replace is the last thing they want to do.
Okay, absolutely makes sense. So I know from our many interactions that you believe in openness and transparency. So
I do.
With that in mind, so let me ask you a few questions here. Yep. So if I'm an Avaya customer, why should I stay with Avaya? I'm nervous about Avaya's future. So how can you reassure me?
At the end of the day, it's all about the value that we deliver to the customer. And so where in the past, perhaps we've not gone as quickly to the cloud or as quickly in innovation as maybe a customer may have wanted, we are now very much doing that. The same token, we're being transparent about it. And what we have guaranteed the customers and partners is not only being transparent about the roadmap, but it's also being reliable about it. So in my view, if I share with you my roadmap, which we've done, and I say we're going to do, as an example, 10 features in the quarter, and we do that, and we reliably do that quarter after quarter, then what comes from that is trust. If you can provide that innovation in a trust environment, because again, they don't want to leave you, they don't want to rip out underneath, and provide the innovation reliably without the disruption, they're going to stay. They're going to stay. And I've heard this, you said at the outset, I have met with, I'm a big believer in voice of the customer, so I've been all over the world already, but I've met with partners of every shape and size, whether they're disties, VARs, MSPs, or agents in the agent model. I've met with, customers, prospects, the industry, and this notion of this innovation without disruption is super important, particularly to these very large customers. Remember, it's not just, let's say you're a 20-seat customer. Well, those people have already gone to the public cloud. And so the change management may be inconvenient, but it's just inconvenient. If you have 5,000 concurrent agents, it's fundamental business risk. You don't want, it's the last thing you want to do. So We're bringing you the innovation. We're showing it to you transparently. We're delivering it reliably. And I think we're the partner to take you forward.
So, as you said, you've been spending a lot of time with partners all over the globe. So what are you basically hearing from your channel partners?
One, our channel partners are still very supportive of us. It's been really, really encouraging to hear that, the company's financial issues are very public, and we'll talk about that. I'm happy to talk about that very openly. But I can't tell you how many separate conversations end with, what can we do to help? So we have a very supportive partner network. And, again, one of the extraordinary assets of the company is we have, 4,600 partners throughout the globe.
They've been with you for a long time.
That's correct. That's correct. And so, this is a very symbiotic relationship between Avaya and the partner community. And, again, I've spent time with, I just came back from Milan at PACDAC. I was with, PCC, the North American Partner Group in Nashville several weeks ago. I've squawked them, globally in, groups of 10 to groups of 100 over and over and over again. I hear that constantly, that we want the roadmap, we want to bring value to our collective customer, and we want you to be successful.
Well, if we're successful, they're successful.
That's exactly right.
So you mentioned the roadmap. So tell me a little bit about what are your short-term and long-term plans, and what can we expect in, say, 6 months and in 12 months?
So first of all, what we did is on my 4th week here, I took the senior management team. We went to one of our main engineering centers in Galway in Ireland, and we did all week on products. We came out of that and said, we're setting our North Star as, building our cloud. I hate to use the term CCaaS, but because I think it's all about the experience platform, meaning that, as you know, I have always rejected the notion of the alphabet soup of the CCaaS and UCaaS and CPaaS, because it's converging. And I've been saying that for years. So that experience platform, which is ultimately a converged employee and agent solution that's architected in the way that is the CPaaS part, which is programmable and extensible. That to me is the heart, lung, and liver of the customer experience solution. Remember, all customers, all commercial customers, their interactions with their customers follow a similar pattern. Employees go outbound to prospects, turn some into opportunities. Salespeople turn opportunities into customers. Customers come inbound to agents in a traditional contact center motion. Account management goes outbound to customers for upsell, renewal, engagement, things like that. Those interactions are increasingly omni-channel and need to be stored in a common repository. That, what I just described, I think, is what the experience platform is, and what's so exciting about the routing technology, which is the core of contact center, is I think that's the heart, lung, and liver of what I just described. We're the largest in the world in contact center. We've sold 6 million contact center seats. There's still 3.5 million contact center seats under active management, either under subscription or maintenance with us. We're the largest in the world. So I look at that and say, we can drive that forward and build a tremendous amount of value, because what we have is what our customers need. That's why we're driving this way. So we came out with that as the roadmap, set our North Star to it. And as important as setting our North Star to it, it's also deciding what we're not going to do. So we made decisions on end of life, end of sale, end of support, so that we could focus. And again, focus for us is, we have a big engineering group. There's 1,800 people in our engineering team, but we were fragmenting them across too many projects, products, and deployment methods, if you will, private cloud, public cloud, et cetera. So we've gone through, as we've rationalized the things that we're not going to do and begun to reallocate within that 1,800 more to the go forward. That go forward resonates in a big way with our customers, and our customers don't need to go there today or tomorrow. They can go there a piece at a time. The way I like to think of it is, what we're building is sort of the whole meal, but you can buy it bite size at a time over the top of your existing premise solution. And particularly among the very large customers, it really resonates.
So what about private cloud and hybrid cloud? How does that fit into everything?
It's still extremely important to us. So where certain competitors have canceled the single instance or multi-cloud play, that is very, very important to us, because when we think about innovation without disruption, there's two motions. There's the functionality. You want to put chat or digital or social on top of your voice. But there's also the infrastructure, meaning many customers on their cloud journey, they like the premise architected solution, but they no longer want to run it in their data center. The way I like to talk about it is they don't want to be running the blinking lights anymore. The beauty of cloud is you don't. But they don't want to rip out the premise, have all the disruption and the business risk, but they don't want to run the blinking lights. So we are now moving them into Microsoft Azure, which is our hyperscaler partner. We can move the core of Aura and Elite, our UC and CC solution, in a very automated fashion. Think about the sort of that cloud OS, the Azure Cloud OS, so that it is far more efficient and can be moved easily. And then we work with our partners where the customer doesn't want to just move the core. They want to move the customizations and personalizations. That is what makes the thing kind of sing. And there we would do elements of it, because we have still a large Avaya professional services group. We still have over 1,000 people on that side. And we work, so there's areas of it that we do the work, but we orchestrate it working with our partners and SIs to do elements of the work as well, so that we can drive business for them and be a demand creator for them. That's what we're driving to. So that single instance is very, very important. Again, and I just think of it as, at its simplest, it's part of the customer's cloud journey. And again, customers can say, well, now I'm ready. I want to go full multi-tenanted public cloud. Any place along that journey, they can do so, but they can do it at their pace, not where I'm saying as a vendor saying, well, okay, Mr. Customer, you got to choose going multi-tenanted public cloud today, and there is no alternative. Big companies are not ready to do that. SMBs, yeah, but big companies, no.
So when you were talking about your roadmap, you mentioned CPaaS, and you and I have talked about this before at your former company. I'm a huge fan of it. So where do you see that fitting into Avaya's roadmap and how it ties in with everything?
CPaaS for us, again, I hate using the ases. We're not a communication tools business a la Vonage, Nexmo, and Twilio, other than some kind of bring your own carrier solutions and E911 type of things. What we are doing, though, is we are architected in the way that CPaaS is architected, or increasingly so that it is microservice, so that it's API driven, so that you can bolt into it the innovation that customers want very easily. So think of it as being programmable and extensible. When we talk about CPaaS, that's really what we're referring to. It's the architecture that we're talking about versus those who are selling, a communication tools business expressed as APIs to the developer world. We do that only in a narrow extent. It's mostly about how we're architected.
So turning back to customers, most of Avaya's competitors have basically painted, big bright target on Avaya customers and have special promotions and marketing campaigns aimed at these customers. So what are you doing to combat this?
Look, there's plenty of FUD out there that has been sort of weaponized against us by competitors. It is what it is. We are countering that by telling much of the story I'm telling you now, which is we've got this enormous asset base. We sell some of the largest communication deployments throughout the world. We're in 190 countries. We've got the sort of technical underpinning to the company is, kind of amazing. There's 4,300 patents, some of them seminal in the industry. You have the brand, which is iconic. But I get it. We've had our kind of slip ups, particularly recently now. We were bankrupt 5 years ago, and then the recent financial upset. So I get clearly how you weaponize against us. I mean, it's disappointing when you sort of show up things in battle cards, which I don't think are sort of very fair. But nonetheless, I get it. I think that our customer base is what everyone else envies and covets, because we understand selling very large enterprise throughout the world, and not just commercial enterprise, but also government and governmental agencies. We do that throughout the world. And so as long as we bring you the innovation you need to modernize, to innovate you, and permit you to not be disrupted underneath, which then creates fundamental business risk. It's not like moving a SMB from prem to cloud. It's a completely different thing. And we continue to tell that story and we deliver on it, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We're going to be more than fine. Because look at the asset base. We're the largest in the world in both UC and CC. Now, we sold 100 million UC seats inception to date. There's over 30 million that are still active under maintenance or subscription. So the power of the footprint is pretty remarkable. Our job is to accelerate the innovation roadmap, be transparent about it, and then deliver it reliably. That's exactly what we're doing.
Anything else you want to share, whether the roadmap or reassuring customers or anything you want to add?
Look, we're just grateful that our customers, again, I think we are listening to our customers. Again, as I said, I'm a big believer of the voice of the customer, and that voice is coming to me. We have an 18,000 member international Avaya users group. I mean, what an incredible asset. And I've met with them, the board. I was at a chapter meeting in the DC area a few weeks ago. This partner community is massive. This global footprint. We're listening to our customers. We're taking a very, very purposeful, outside-in orientation to how we develop our roadmap, a customer-first perspective. And we're making a great deal of changes organizationally so that we are, just laser-focused to support our customers in what the go-forward proposition is. And again, it's the old thing, is as important of, as defining what you're going to do, it's what you're not going to do. And so I think that level of focus, our customers appreciate. And I've had conversations with many customers, and will say, "Oh my goodness, I'm worried about, well, you've reduced cost in the company, and are there people to support me?" And I'm like, absolutely. We're it would be foolhardy to cut costs in the areas that are central to our go forward purpose and go forward success. So the areas that we've cut costs have been, outside that. So we're very, very focused. And I think customers are seeing, hopefully, an ever more responsive Avaya, an employee base that's got sort of a, maybe a better spring in its step. And that's what we're trying to drive to, because, my view is, similar to the things I did in my last company, drive the roadmap where the customers need you and beyond, create the organizational clarity supporting it, revitalize the culture around that very focused objective. Good things happen. And it's already happening here, and we're only 4 months in. So we got a lot of work to do, but I feel really good about what we've accomplished thus far.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Alan. It's so good to have you back in the UC and contact center world, and
Thank you.
looking forward to seeing what goes forward.
Wonderful. Thanks again. I look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Thanks.